This is the Sauna 868 wide mouth vertical juicer. Wide mouth is referring to the feeding tube here. It has a standard feeding tube, but if you flip this switch, this trapdoor opens, revealing an 82 millimeter wide feeding tube. It's by far the biggest feeding tube of any juicer we produce, and that allows you to put in larger pieces of produce, saving prep time. Now, because these pieces of produce are larger, think of things like big pieces of carrot or beets, you need a stronger machine to process that. That's why we've put in a 240 watt high torque motor. It has the power to crush those big pieces without putting any strain on the juicer. And all the other juicing parts are reinforced as well. This juicer is not made in China. Like all our juicers, it's made from premium components in South Korea, and it's backed by our industry-leading warranty. Not only is this a strong, powerful machine, it's also surprisingly versatile for a vertical juicer. Most vertical juicers only include 1 or maybe 2 screens. The Sauna 868 actually includes 4 screens. Starting with this one, this is the standard juicing screen, also known as the fine screen. The fine refers to the size of these micro perforations on the stainless steel. What that does is create the maximum pressure, the optimal pressure, to get the highest amount of yield from most fruits and vegetables, and this is what you'll use most of the time when juicing. But one problem with those little tiny holes is that fibrous and softer fruits can get stuck in there. I'm talking about things like pineapple, soft apples, berries. That's why we include this screen. This is the coarse screen, and you can see here the holes are much larger. That means there's less pressure. It's also less likely for the pulp to get stuck in there or anything to back up. It just makes an easy solution if you want to juice a lot of softer fruit. Now the third screen looks a lot like the coarse screen, but it's actually really different and it's kind of unusual. This is the smoothie screen. And basically what this does is turn the juicer into a low-speed blender for making smoothies. And how that works is it juices the produce that comes through here, but instead of ejecting the pulp, it puts the pulp back into the juice and mixes it all together. Typically what you'll do for something like this, you'll start with a base liquid. That can be juice, it could be almond milk, coconut water, anything like that. And then you'll add your smoothie ingredients, let it all mix together. You can make green smoothies, fruit smoothies, all sorts of things. It's really versatile. And finally, here's the sorbet screen. This is for making fruit desserts, frozen fruit desserts. You freeze your fruit, let it thaw for a few minutes. And you can make, for example, from berries, you could make a berry ice. From something like peaches, you could make a peach sorbet. Or you can mix softer ingredients that have been frozen and thawed, like bananas, mangoes, even avocados. Mix them with things like berries and other fruits to make a really nice ice creamy consistency sorbet. Cleaning on the Sauna 868 is pretty simple. You just rinse all the parts under running water. The only tricky part is cleaning the screens here. Now they don't get so bad because this is a wiping blade system. These has silicone blades and this rotates while you're juicing. It's like the windshield wiper on a car. It just keeps the stainless steel metal parts here pretty clean. But when you're done, we've got this special brush that snaps on and you just rotate it left and right and that gets rid of 95% of any pulp that's stuck there. And if there's any little pieces remaining, there's this brush here. This is just a fine detail brush you can get in any little corners to clean out any bits that are left. And also if you want to clean out the pulp outlet or the juice outlet, there is this little wire brush here that can get in there and clean those. Finally, one thing we like to do at Sauna with all our juicers is to make the containers a little extra special. I'm talking about the juice container and the pulp container. Most juicers come with small plastic containers for juice and pulp. These tend to discolor and fade over time. They get brittle, they crack. We like to do something a little different. Starting with the juice container here. This one's quite big. It's 1,500 milliliters. It's heavy duty. It's made from thick borosilicate tempered glass. So you can make a lot of juice at one time and then store it hygienically in glass in the fridge. And then the pulp container here, it's a little special too. It's our extra large stainless steel pulp container. Because it's extra large, that means you have to empty it a lot less often compared to how you would with those smaller plastic pulp containers. Also, because it's stainless steel, it will look good over time. Over the life of the juicer, it'll still look shiny and new, won't fade or crack or anything. And lastly, for those people who like to save their pulp and use it for things like cookies, crackers, muffins, even dehydrated products, this is a great way to store that pulp hygienically. And that's a quick look at the Sauna 868. Now let's see it in action.